What's up? My name is Josh, and welcome to New Species CrossFit, aka New Species Athletics, aka New Species MetFix, where my wife and I coach, own, and operate here in Royal Oak, Michigan, and have for nearly 20 years. Let me show you my box. All right, with any CrossFit gym, the lobby sets the vibe. You walk in, you need to know exactly what you're getting into. Got a little brief view of the floor, and we'll get there later. But the first thing you're gonna see is more than likely an empty desk, all right? Because the person here is probably out on the floor coaching, but come in, hang out, and they'll be with you in just a second. We operate based on what our athletes want. You know, our money's made in coaching. You know, that's the true service that we offer, and that's the profession that we employ. But I have half my population that absolutely loves Fit Aid. I'm a Fit Aid guy myself. Got my half my population that absolutely loves Kill Cliff, Fuel for Fire, Perfect Bars, and continue on the fridges. Everybody got that hidden fridge at their box they don't tell you about. Let's check out what's in the freezer real quick. Of course, there's gonna be some remnants of parties, some leftover alcohol. Then we have some version of ice to put on something, all right? And then of course the extra storage for the waters and milks for the children's that play around, and of course a bunch more alcohol for an event that's either upcoming or has since passed. And now let's get to where all the magic happens. This is where PRs are made. This is where strength is gained. This is where mental fitness is gained. This is where mental health is gained. This is where husbands are found. This is where business partnerships are made. This is where jobs are found. This is where all the magic happens, because this is where the community really gathers. Any box that's worth their while in any way, the community is what builds it, the community is what makes it. We took a lot of our early cues from this guy named Seth Godin. He operated a very tribal mentality when it came to business, and we've just never really let that go. You see, we have tribe or die everywhere, have the big crazy tribe or die wall in the back. You know, play on ride or die, you know what we're doing. These animals actually have our logo tattooed on them, and they actually all got it before I did, which is kind of embarrassing. I'm the one up here with it on his hands. We do have a lot of athletes that do, you know, accessory work and things in the background, and we've always wanted to have a big enough facility to facilitate that, no pun intended. We got the GHDs, we got all the boxes, we got walls and walls of boxes. My goal as we developed as a CrossFit box was to be the most complete version of Glassman's vision. I wanted to take the constantly varied aspect as far as we could, but only with functional movement. I want to talk about the sled work too. Had a lot of haters early on when I was wanting to put in the turf. How are we going to clean it? How are we going to do this? You see how popular turf is now here in 2025. All right, we've been pushing sleds for years. D-balls, stones, sandbags, all the strongman apparatus one could ask for. This is our beautiful, fully outfitted Ollie area. Platforms are generally available. You know, we only have Ollie a few times a week, so this is where we get a lot of our extra personal training and things like that going down. And to recover from all that action, we got one of the best yin yoga classes aimed at CrossFit and recovery that you could possibly find. So come in and get your mobility right as well. Listen, whatever keeps you coming, whatever keeps you consistent, we want to make sure we have that to offer you, and here we are. We do not shy away from the high skill. We do all the muscle ups, we do all the high skill work. If I had to sum up our programming, I'd say, other than just calling it CrossFit or Glassman's methodology, I would say that it's high skill grunt work. You know what I'm saying? We keep the high skill in, but man, we'd like a lot of strongman, we'd like a lot of odd object stuff, and we really do push the functional aspect of it, because that's what really got us into CrossFit, got me into CrossFit. It really matched up with my views on functional training and functional fitness. And so our goal this whole time has been to build the most capable, most equipped functional fitness training facility in the world. Definitely in Detroit and Michigan, I want to be the best there is. Let me show you our rides. We have a fleet of rowers. We got our C2 bikes in the back. Rowers were the first real machine, other than of course the bodies, introduced to CrossFit, and it's because of that core to extremity movement. So we do a lot of rowing, we have a lot of rowers. You'll see that we have the Rogue Echoes and we have the C2s. They both have the same mechanism, both excellent pieces of equipment. We also have a fleet of bikes. We got the Echo bikes, we have the Assault bikes. I want very few pieces of equipment or very few movement patterns in here that I can't explore in our class setting. So I don't want just my elite athletes doing ring muscle ups and echo bike work. I want all of my athletes doing ring muscle up and echo bike work. We also have the assault runners. We do a lot of sprint work on the assault runners. It's something we've incorporated more and more recently. We've got really, really great results, great feedback out of it. We got the benches, we got the boxes. If I've run out of equipment, we go buy it real quick. I got a big order out right now. It's one of my biggest pet peeves, and I feel like a sin as a box owner to run out of equipment. Let's talk about our locker room amenities. We have 3 showers in the men, we have 3 showers in the women's, and One of the coolest moments that I've ever had is I brought my Uncle Chris up and my grandmother up from Louisiana. We grew up in poverty, we grew up really, really poor. Being able to bring my uncle up here and to bring my grandmother up here and now to employ my uncle, he's taken over as facility manager and our box has never been cleaner. So you see our sticker walls, you'll see this in the women's too. You know, again, mentioned 3 showers. If I had to sum up the theme of the locker room, I'd go well-lit prison or camp that feels a little less distressing. That's our goal. All this artwork on the wall has been from our members, just wanting to spice up the place a little bit. That's one of the coolest things about owning a box for as long as we have is it starts not only taking on my personality, but it starts taking on the personality of our members as well. Women's locker room, not really that much different. So we have even more density over here. You can tell where my wife was more in charge than I was. All right, so it's a little more well done. Good vibes only, no nonsense. And most importantly, for a gym owner to have in any women's bathroom is Ryan Gosling, you know, just giving him a little extra encouragement when it comes to plumbing. More showers, more showers, more showers. Our ladies tend to be a little bit cleaner than our fellas, but don't tell anybody. Talking about a few more pieces in our lobby that are actually really cool. So my boy James Vreeland, my GoRuck coach, found this blueprint, I believe from some NASA engineer, and he made these benches. He also stripped down some of our old plyometric boxes and made the top of this table. Up here we have all of our merchandise. So t-shirts, bandanas, bags, whatever. We're almost always out, which I take as a huge compliment because we do all the design work. So yeah, always trying to keep up on that. We do the holiday stuff. You can't be a CrossFit box without some good t-shirts. That's a part of the cult. We all know that. So when we first moved back here, we were absolutely the only gym on the street. And it was us and a bunch of old industrial buildings. Murph, get inside. Come on. This is the OG Murph. Come on, Murph. You know you're the mascot. You know you're the man. He's a lot more popular than I am up here. Murph. Giving huge props to just the whole CrossFit model that comes straight from Greg Glassman. Like, just all you need is a box. You know, that's why we call it a box, because all we need is an open square and then we can outfit it. It gave personal trainers and fitness professionals and even hobbyists easy access to stepping into, forget the fitness world, stepping into the entrepreneurial world. Greg was like, all you need is a box. And our first wall balls were made of basketballs, sand, and duct tape. And yes, we did spray paint skulls on them. And yes, the girls wore pink duct tape. And yes, the guys wore black duct tape. So we just really knew. We were doing pull-ups on bars that were this big around. Rogue was getting started kind of around the same time we were getting started. We couldn't purchase the pull-up rig yet. So we went to Home Depot and retrofitted a bunch of pipes together. It ultimately collapsed out of the wall because we had too many people on it. We finished the WOD, we kept it moving, nobody missed a beat. The first rig piece we bought, and bro, I was like, I will never financially recover. Like, that was like my Tiger King moment. I'm like, I don't know how to do this. I just so much money. I don't know. You know, and then fast forward and, you know, we've been blessed and we've grown and I'm grateful. And like, you know, we buy equipment all the time. That's such an integral part of like keeping your box up is making sure that your athletes are taken care of. Take care of your coaches, then take care of your athletes, but it should be real close. We've had pro athletes, college athletes, high school athletes, grandmothers, senior citizens. We've had people that came in wheelchairs and walked out of here months later, literally. We've had tennis teams go to win states when they had it before. And we've had athletes drop, of course, tons of weight. We've had people, like I mentioned earlier, find their wives, find their person, you know? Those are the kind of connections that build. So yeah, the graffiti, again, another in-house gig. You know, Steve Savali did the whole thing, but it's such a big part of our piece. You see the duality of the, you know, we have the tale of two wolves, you know, the old Native American folklore, where you have a good wolf, you have a bad wolf, it's the one you feed. The whole premise of New Species I actually took from my level 1 cert, and they presented a study that they were talking about phenotypical gene expression, and if you have more than a 50% difference, you know, the phenotypes are the ones that we can express, that we can push to express. Like, I might have the potential for 25-inch arms, but if I never do a bicep curl, they never get there. This phenotypical gene expression can literally, if it's 50% different, makes you technically a new species. And what they had began noticing is in these very highly trained individuals, pro athletes that really committed to it, that they had at least 50% phenotypical gene expression. And that's where the whole premise of New Species came from. The dragons are meant to mimic the DNA double helix that is in all of us, and that we have that potential that we can unlock, that we can actively evolve day to day. The list of amenities actually doesn't end there. The beautiful city of Royal Oak, in conjunction with Big Universe himself, has given us a whole nother list of amenities just across the street. Follow me over here. When we first moved into this spot, which was about 10 years ago, this was all just a golf course. And Royal Oak came in, they made kind of this fitness park that we use for everything. We do our last man standing comps over here. We have birthday parties over in the park, and we very frequently run our 1.1 mile run track. We have one of the largest, and have had for years, go-ruck factions, and they utilize this park all the time. There's some really good sled hills that turn into really good torture hills. I think they put them in the creek, with all the frogs. They do all kinds of crazy stuff in the go-ruck over here, but it's a really beautiful add-on to a space that we never could have imagined that we could have asked for. One of the things I mentioned as far as community and everything is all these relationships developing. My beautiful wife, Marcella, started as an athlete way back in the day. She made regionals from 2015 all the way until regionals was no more. She's been the fittest female in Michigan for a very long time, and I'm very proud of all of her accomplishments. You also see some of our other athletes. We're very active in the CrossFit community. We've been to the Fresh Coast Games multiple times, multiple teams, and then we have a Babes and Barbells, and then one of the coolest ones we've done recently, we went all the way down to Portsmouth, Ohio, and participated in the gauntlet, and Broken Science MetFix put it on. We post all of our WODs everywhere. It's completely and totally free source. We have athletes in England that do our WODs. We have athletes in New York that do our WODs. We have athletes all over the place that still follow our programming, which is one of the biggest compliments I can receive as a programmer and a coach. You're gonna see a strength element, a speed element, a conditioning element, a skill element. Either it'll be a really big WOD, so we'll do two things, and then we'll get to that workout of the day, that functional conditioning piece, that body piece that you see, that's what we're all really coming here for. The biggest key to all of this being successful for your fitness, for anything, is consistency. So we have to make sure that you program stuff that people want to come in for, people want to do, that people find at least a little bit fun. It can't just all be banging their head against the wall all the time. And that'll do it for your tour of New Species Athletics, AKA New Species CrossFit, AKA New Species MetFix, and the Glassman founding First 100. You gotta go, your fitness is done. Go get some recovery, have a protein shake, get some rest, work on your mobility. Peace.